Hello and welcome to the Wellness and Empowerment Virtual Summit 2020. My name is Eleanor Oberio. I'm a consultant and publisher at Alfred Training System, and I have a very special guest today. His name is Brad Finkeldei, and his topic is about the mindset shift, empowering yourself to gain more confidence during uncertain times. Hi, Brad. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm wearing my You're Awesome t-shirt, which is help people realize that they're more awesome than what they, our brains and our egos like to tell us.
Yes, great. Okay, so let's start with the first question.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself growing up. So later on, I'm going to show you some pictures. And what was that incident that transformed you into a more confident person?
Well, I would actually say there's a couple moments that it's actually kind of opposite of what you think. It's so there is a moment when I was a little kid and I was trying to help my dad do something, and he was fixing the washing machine, and he asked me to go find something, like a certain part, or a tool or something. And I couldn't find what that tool or that part was. And I remember standing there trying to find it and getting upset at myself and getting upset that I couldn't help my dad. And he got a little upset at the same time. He wasn't really upset at me, but he was upset at, he was just frustrated with trying to fix something. And then I couldn't find something to help him. And inside of that, like that moment, as a little 6-year-old, I thought I was someone that I couldn't find things. And so that defined me for a long time. And it defined my confidence at like a subconscious level, that I was the type of person that couldn't find things. And that shaped and that drove my life, where I wanted to be the person who could find and discover whatever I could, whenever I want, be really smart, be really confident. And it really drove me in a lot of ways, because at the core, I thought I was someone who couldn't find things. And I was determined to become someone that could find things and could do things. And that's the moment, I realize now that that was just a story that I made up in my head, that I couldn't find things, but it became a belief about me. And it's become a defining moment where I now have learned I don't have to hold on to that story anymore. And I can just be more of myself.
Yes. Okay. So now, tell us something about this photo.
That is a picture of me. I think I was naked except for the hat. And that's a picture. That's a picture. I don't know. I guess I was 2 or 3, and I guess just having fun, with my mom and dad. And they put a hat on, and my dad snapped a picture and became a funny picture.
Okay, next.
I think it just reminds you to live in the moment, and to be yourself, whatever that is. That was my tricycle growing up. The A-Team was a popular show in the 80s, of these real cool, confident team of people, out there busting up crime. And it was exciting just to have it, on the street and rolling up and down. And it was something that, in terms of confidence, I felt like I was them, doing and being part of that, those heroes on TV.
And then this one.
Is of me and my family. And we were moving. It's one of my favorite pictures of my family, and my mom and my dad. This is probably 1981, 82, somewhere around there. And we were helping my aunt move out of her house, and we just snapped a picture, after moving out. just turned into like one of the family's favorite photos of everybody growing up.
Okay, let's see the next question. How do you build self-confidence if, for example, you are too intimidated to even get started?
The first thing there for myself and others to realize is it's an ongoing game. There's no perfection out there. And one of the greatest things to realize is that your brain makes up all these stories about what's going to happen in the future, or how people are going to perceive you if you try or if you don't try. And the thing to understand is that all of those stories are false. They're not real. They're just what you think in your head is going to happen. But if you were to test that against reality, you'd be proven wrong over and over again about like, that's exactly how things happen. And even more so when you compare what you think others will think of you. Because when you really ask people what they would think of you if you did try, or even if you did fail, most people, really wouldn't care. Most people would be thinking about themselves most of the time anyways, about what they're up to, about what they're creating in their life. And most people get caught up in the trap of they don't want to try because what other people are going to think about them. I know I've definitely been in that, and it's definitely held me back, in many different circumstances or times or whatever. It's just it's something that when you can let go of the stories and also know that they happen automatically in our brains, it's just what our brains do. But to disassociate yourself from those stories and to say, you know what, it's not a reality, it's not really true. It gives you permission to go out and try something. And then when you go do and try it, you're going to fail, you're going to fail along the way. And when you understand and you look back at your failure, you understand that you learned something new and you get to try again and towards success. And that's just the process. It's the process of trying something, screwing it up, messing it up, and then trying again, and then getting better at it, and then getting better at it, and then failing a little bit, failing more, and then getting better and better and better until you become really good at it. And that's what helps.
Yes. Okay. Can you please suggest some mindset hacks to shift from imposter syndrome to confidence, especially for those who are just starting a business, writing a book, or just putting their work out there for the whole world to see?
Yeah. One of the things that helped me when I wrote my first book was I just gave myself like 20 minutes a day. And then I wrote for 20 minutes. And some days I didn't write anything. Not a lot came to me. Some days I wrote more. Some days it was garbage. But the point there for me was shifting out of imposter syndrome was just to do a little bit each day. And then the more and more you do that, you start to see yourself in a new way. You start to see yourself in a new light, in a new perspective. Because in this particular circumstance, every author begins with like writing one word,
yes,
on a piece of paper, or writing one, sentence, in their Google Docs or whatever it is. And then they go back and reiterate it and get better and better and better. And that every tree or every plant starts as a seed. And it's the same thing with your business idea, or with whatever it is you want to create in your life. It all starts with an idea, and the more you can cultivate that idea in your mind and not give up on it, and feed it good things, and keep moving it forward, the more it's going to show up in your life. And then you're going to start to see yourself as someone who's not an imposter, and actually someone who is actually doing the work. Because the truth is, when you don't have something and you want to be over here, A lot of people think that this person over here has it all together and they just have a special talent or they just made it. But the reality is that this person started, on the bottom at some point, and then they worked their way up to the top, little by little. And sometimes there are people who have some special circumstances and that helps, but a lot of people just have to keep trying and keep moving forward inside of things, and um, keep aligning themselves to what makes them the happiest. And during that process is when things start to occur and start to really take shape.
Great advice. I believe in forming good habits. How can you keep your focus on developing your intention of building and developing your confidence daily?
Yeah, one of the things is a really good habit. Like I actually have one. I do Monday through Friday. I have a quick 10 to 15-minute call with a good friend of mine, and we actually set our intention every day on who we're going to be, what we're going to. Actually, we just started a new one this morning. I'll share those with you. It's 4 questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's how do I want to feel today? What do I want to be today, or who do I want to be today? What do I want to receive today, and what do I want to give today? And we actually added a 5th one this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I becoming?
Oh, wow.
And it really sets the intention of, for me, it's becoming a great inspirational speaker. And that's where I'm moving forward inside of my life and what that shows up. And when you set that intention on a daily basis, little things start to show up, and sometimes big things start to show up. And you start to take the actions from the context of what you intended. And it starts to actually build more and more momentum, and then you get more and more confidence inside of those daily habits.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. So in short, you have to form powerful questions every day. Ask yourself powerful questions.
Yeah, powerful questions are very insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, one of the tricks sometimes is that sometimes powerful questions don't need to be answered right then.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can actually ask yourself the powerful question of like, how can I do this thing with not a lot of money, or how can I do this thing without all the resources I need right now? And sometimes just let that go, and then you'll an idea will pop in your head later in the day or in a few days, and then that becomes like the inspiration for the next move. But just that one powerful question can make a difference later on.
Awesome. Okay, please share your current projects and where can people find more about you and your work?
Yeah, so what I'm known mostly for is careers and confidence, really helping people with their confidence, and then helping them figure out where do they align best, and how can they do that confidently. One of the ways that one of my current projects that I'm working on right now is I'm actually developing a workshop for workplace communication, because I've found that there's a need, especially in the technology space, for people to be able to communicate and actually listen better to the people around them, the people on their teams, and also for leaders to be able to listen to and lead better the teams that they're on. So I've taken all of the confidence work that I've done with people personally, and also some of the work that I've done inside of a communications curriculum that I've been part of, and I'm integrating both of those together so people can actually show up and lead better and listen better to the people they have, and it helps to create more collaborative teams, especially in technology, because I'm still a nerd.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Brad, for sharing those insightful tips, and more power to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.